Welcome back to the Talking Sports podcast, hosted by Peter DiBiasi and John Rocco Trumpbour, right here on YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. Guys, we appreciate everyone that is clicking on this episode. If you're listening on the audio version on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, we appreciate it. And if you're watching or listening on the visual version, which is YouTube, that is awesome as well. And we are back with another golf episode. You guys did a great job watching our Masters preview. And now we are breaking down the PGA Championship. So this is our PGA Championship preview. But before we do that, Jared, how you doing tonight? And tell everyone about our social media and our sponsorship.
I'm doing good. And yes, like Pete said, social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. If you've been watching us for a while, you pretty much know the drill. But at Talking Sports PD on those three platforms, we're posting content. Just keep up to date with us with our latest videos and rankings and stuff like that, because we post a little more content on that than we do on YouTube sometimes. And yeah, like Pete said, our promotion, Underdog Fantasy, we have a promo code. If you use TSP, they will match your deposit from $10 to $100, so they'll double it. And yeah, you can put in 10, match at 10, you got 20 in the pot there. It's a great way for fantasy sports, especially NBA finals, golf. So yeah, code TSP on Underdog Sports, and it will match your deposit. Has to be 10 and can't be more than 100. And yeah, and don't forget to follow us on Apple Podcast and Spotify.
Yeah, like Jared said, Underdog Fantasy Code TSP. Link will be in the description, as all our social medias, all our other avenues you guys can find us in. But yeah, we've done a great job with Underdog Fantasy. We have a ton of people have actually used it so far and enjoyed it. You can, like Jared said, NBA finals, NBA conference finals, golf, great with golf. Once football season goes around, we also have hockey, NHL going on right now, baseball. So a lot of daily baseball stuff. Pick them, use that, put a 4 or 5 parlay, and you guys are good. And if you have a gambling problem, make sure you visit underdogfantasy.com for more information. I was required to say that. It's all good. So if you guys watched our Masters episode or listened to our Masters episode, it's going to be the same kind of structure. We're not going to go 45, 50 minutes like our draft episode, which you guys did a great job on. We appreciate it. But we're going to try to go 15 to 25 minutes here. We're going to give you each a sleeper, a guy that we think could rise up and maybe potential win. And then we're going to give you our clear-cut winner. Not to toot my own horn, I did pick John Rahm last time. John Rahm did win. So, Jay, I'm going to start with you. And who is your sleeper for the PGA Championship?
Yeah, so my sleeper is Sung Jae Im. He's one of my roommate's favorite golfers, so I've been, keeping up with him during, the previous tournaments. Sung Jae, he's ranked 18th in the world, I believe. He finished 16th in the Masters. So I mean, he's been consistently up there. He's still yet to win, a big top tournament or championship. However, I think this could be a breakout tournament for him. He's due. I think in the past 7 tournaments, he's finished top 10 in 4 of them, or top 21. Yeah, he's consistently up there, but never, not really in that top 5 category. But these are the tournaments where someone breaks out once in a while. And I think he's due. I think he's really good off the tee. I think he's like top 5, and I know I saw the stat, top 5 in yards gained off the tee. He's a consistent golfer. He's not really going to blow up, but he could be consistently, average sometimes. So, but he's consistent. That's a big, important thing in golf.
Yeah.
I think he could be due. The golf world knows about him. No one's really, talking about him to possibly win it. That's why he's our sleeper. But I think this is a good opportunity for him to possibly, kind of break out into the golf game and, start a successful career. Or
And I don't know if you mentioned his odds. I think they listed at we're using Vegas Insider odds. So if you're on DraftKings, you're a FanDuel, if you're an Underdog, whatever you guys are on, we're using Vegas Insider just to keep it consistent between Jared and I. I think he was plus 3,300. Jared, am I?
yeah, you're right.
That's and then usually those type of guys are good when it comes to like top 5, top 10 finishes because there's a little more juice on those odds. But his odds to win are plus 3,300. He's never won a major, right?
No. And the stat I was pulling up in his last 13 starts, he has 10 finishes, 21st or better, and then 5 that are top 10.
Okay. And you know what? He's
And
gonna
he
win a
just
major
recently
event.
he went back to South Korea and just won their tournament
Nice.
recently.
Oh, he's hot. He's
Yeah,
hot.
he's
That's what you
hot.
like.
Going
Plus plus 3,300. How do you say his name? Sungjae Im?
Sungjae and
Sungjae Im as a sleeper. So my sleeper and his Vegas odds, Jared's was at plus 3,300. Mine are at plus 300 or 3,000. So that is Colin Morikawa. He has a little more of an established resume, I would say, than Sungjae Im. He has 5 PGA Tour wins, but he also has 2 major wins. He won the Open Championship in 2021, and then he did win this PGA Championship in 2020. That I would always put an asterisk next to it, not because it's 2020, but obviously him winning the PGA Championship is awesome. It's just the PGA Championship is always played at a different place. It's not the same. It's not like Augusta where you won in 2020. You know you won there. You know, like you're proven track record at that course. And this is in Oak Hill in Rochester, and that's not where the PGA Championship was in 2020. So he's won the PGA Championship. He's won the Open Championship in 2021. He has 2 major wins. He's currently ranked 16th in the world, and he's a name that I think a lot of people do know. I think a lot of people do know. Like I think, Jared, if you went to an average golf fan, they could tell you tell you Colin Morikawa. They probably couldn't tell you Sung Jae Im. Like I don't think that's a guy that they're telling. And plus 3,000 is not bad. He is struggling, right? In his last tournament he played in, it was early May. It was May 4th to May 7th. It was the Wells Fargo Championship, and he didn't make the cut in his last tournament. So maybe that's why the odds are plus 3,000. I don't think he's played his best golf in the last 2 years, right? He hasn't won a major since 2021. Not the easiest thing to win a major, obviously, but he hasn't won a major. He's currently ranked 16th in the world, and I'm about to give you some information that's probably not going to make him as compelling. He started in 11th to start at the end of 2022. So when the 2023 season started, he was in 11th. He dropped back to 16th. So he has had kind of an up and down spring so far. You kind of would like that to be flipped, him to start 16 and move up to 11. But at plus 3,000, a guy that has won multiple majors or a couple majors, he has legit PGA Tour wins. He's won the PGA Championship before, and a guy that I think kind of needs a boost. I think the guy that can play well. Look, plus 3,000 is some good odds. It's gonna be hard for him to win it. But like I said, like I looked earlier or yesterday, his top 10 finish odds are plus 270. Right, like that might be a little more of that juice, a little more better placement of your money there. And obviously, we're not promoting gambling here. We're just telling you the odds. But yeah, at plus 3,000, I think a guy that has a proven track record, winning multiple majors and PGA Tour wins, definitely has a chance to put his name in the card when it comes to Saturday and Sunday
he finished what 55th last year
in the PGA Championship.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. But my other thing with that is like it's a
only
different,
get better.
yeah, and also like that, like I said earlier, it's like a different course, right? Like they're not.
No, I'm not like I'm just
No, I know you're just saying. I know, but like that, like Augusta's like you have a Masters, like you play the same course. Like Augusta doesn't change. I don't even know where the PGA Championship was last year, but I know this year's in Oak Hill, I believe. This is Rochester, New York, so not too far from where JR and I live.
Yeah.
So JR, we're gonna keep moving. Yeah, Oak Hill East course, and the purse this week is 15,000. Not 15,000, 15 million. 15,000 would be not
We
a
should
lot.
try to take a hike up there and play the course.
Oh yeah, because you know what? Maybe throw a hat in the ring for the 15 million.
The qualifier.
Yeah, the qualifier. Okay, so Jared has as a sleeper Sungjae Im. My sleeper is Colin Morikawa. Jared, who do you think is taking home the 2023 PGA Championship?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with the guy who's playing hot golf lately. He finished runner-up in the Masters, and that's Brooks Koepka. I know he's a live golfer. Doesn't get much love for that.
In the world rankings, he does not.
Yeah, he's like I think 43rd right now in the world ranking, even though coming off like being
He's
runner
better
up.
than. He's better than. I think he's played
Yeah,
better
some
than
of the guys in
43rd.
front of me like, what's going on here? So I'm not looking at those rankings, but he is playing hot golf. I know no one's really following the live, tournaments, but in the last 4 tournaments, he's finished top 11 in all of them with 3 top 5 finishes. He won one in the end of March, and then he's coming off finishing 3rd and then 5th. I mean, he's very consistent when he's playing well, when he's hot. He's had some rough patches in his career, and this is someone who is very familiar with the PGA Championship. Like Pete said, different course, totally different. But the championship, the tournament itself, he's won it twice. Finished top 5, I think 5 times, I believe. Yeah. And then in 2021, he was tied for 2nd. So this guy consistently, battles in this tournament. I think since he's playing in golf, I always kind of try to ride the hot hand.
Yeah.
So after seeing his Masters, and then he's consistently doing really well in the live, I think he definitely has an opportunity to win it here. We'll see. Anything could happen in golf, but I think his odds to win are. Do you have those, Pete?
Let me see. Yeah, I got Brooks. Brooks is at plus 1,800. That is 4th behind Rory McIlroy at plus 1,200, and Scheffler and Rahm are both tied for 1st.
Yeah, so he's behind 3 consistently the top 3 guys.
Yeah. Plus 1,800 is not bad.
No, 1,800 is bad. Yeah.
For a quote unquote favorite and the guy that just came 2nd in the Masters. And that,
yeah,
for argue could have won the Masters and kind of choked.
Could have won. He's been finishing top 5 in his live golf tournaments. Yeah, this guy's been playing really well golf, really good golf, not well golf. Yeah, so I mean, this is someone who I'm not encouraging betting, but someone that the numbers are good. He's got a really great shot. Been playing really good golf. Yeah, I just kind of just a line there, and he could do some damage.
Yeah, Brooks kept get plus 1,800 just what I'm running gambling, but plus 1,800 is not the worst option at all. So yeah, plus 1,800. So we're gonna keep going here, and we're gonna go with my winner, and that is Rory McIlroy. Rory McIlroy at Vegas Insider at plus 1,200. I have him with 23 PGA Tour wins. He's also won the U.S. Open in 2011. He won the Open Championship in 2014, won the PGA Championship in 2012 and 2014. He has 4 major wins. That's going back, though. Those. We're going back. We're going back to Jared and I in middle school, and a little bit of middle school. So that's kind of a problem there. So this is a guy that his Vegas Insider odds, did I say plus 1,200? Yeah, plus 1,200. So he's 3rd right now behind Rahm and Scheffler, right one spot ahead of Koepka. He's currently ranked 3rd in the world. This is a guy that had a great 2021, 2022 in the sense of like where he finished in the majors, right? He was always top 5. He was always top 10. He was doing his thing. He just never got over the hump. And then everyone thought 2023 was going to be his year, right? And it still could be. We still have the Open, and we still have the U.S. Open. We still have the Open and the U.S. Open. Those haven't happened yet. But his Masters performance was completely underwhelming.
Yeah,
like Rory McIlroy, I forgot what it was. I'm pretty sure. Did he not make the cut? He didn't make the cut.
He made the cut. He didn't.
Nope.
He was like right there, though, right?
Yeah, I didn't. He was plus 5.
Yeah, I think the cut was plus 3.
3? Yeah. So but that's like that was a guy that had top 5 odds to finish. And there's always that guy or two that are really good or top 10 finish or top 10 projected finish that just don't make the cut. Like it's golf. It happens. Mm-hmm. But he was supposed to start off the 2023 campaign really well, and he did not, right? And then at this Wells Fargo Championship early in May, this was his last tournament. I don't know what's going on at this Wells Fargo Championship, but he was tied for 47th, made the cut though, but tied for 47th and finished at +1 in the tournament, and that was his last tournament, as well as Colin Morikawa's last tournament. So this is a guy that everyone knows. Like he was when he won in 2011, 2012, and twice in 2014. Like he risen to like stardom, and then it's kind of just been like he's kind of plateaued, kind of like what Jordan Spieth kind of did. Jordan Spieth like won a couple majors and then kind of plateaued, and just became a very good golfer and just hasn't won majors. It also shows how hard it is to win majors because there's only 4 a year, right? And we forget PGA Tour wins unless you're in like we forget PGA Tour wins because he has 23 PGA Tour wins, right? That's a lot of wins, and then 4 majors. So he's a great golfer. It's just when you look at like the average golf fan, and that's what I think, Jerry, you would classify us as the average golf fan, not a over the moon golf fan. We like it, and we've gotten into it more as we play. But like 4 major wins, good. 23 PGA Tour wins is good, is really good as well. It's just like you think you would have 1 or 2 more majors. It also just shows how good Tiger Woods was.
Yeah,
I always go back to like that, like how good Tiger was.
A lot of these, like you mentioned, Jordan Spieth, like
Yeah.
they win so early and they win a lot so early, so you think they're just going to keep going up, and it's hard to manage just continuously winning, especially when you start at such a young age. It's like you can't keep up with what people's expectations and stuff like that.
No, you cannot. And yeah, I think Rory McIlroy at plus 1250, I believe it was, right? I suppose plus 1250 has a chance to plus 1200, excuse me, has a chance to make some damage. I think do some damage in this tournament because I think he's a proven winner. I think the Masters might have been more of a fluke than what he can show, and I think he's have to prove himself. I think he finished top 5 a lot last year. I think he needs that win to get himself back to stardom. JR, is Tiger playing? I know I'm putting him in the spot. I'm going on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I was going to just mention with Rory. No, I've started like really kind of following golf like more like in the past year or 2 years. I feel like every time I watch, Rory's like you said, top 3, and then he just doesn't do well. So I just wonder why, like we said, it's hard to continuously meet those expectations.
Yeah.
Why are we continuously putting those expectations on him,
I think it's his. I think he had a good
top 3 to finish this. Like he didn't even make the cut for the Masters,
I know, I agree, and I think they're going off. I think one, he's still 3rd in the world ranking, and I don't know what exactly goes into that. World ranking. That might be PGA Tour wins. I don't know. Obviously, it is. It is not just majors because it's whatever you do in that calendar year. And last year, he ended 2022 as the number 1 player in the world.
Yeah, that's wild.
He was number 1 in the world.
Well, I didn't really follow him as much last year, so maybe he was just cooking too.
Yeah. And who's having a great Max Homa, who's my sleeper.
Yeah,
he was up and down at the Masters. I don't know what he finished at, maybe -1, -2. So he wasn't incredible, but he's 6th in the world right now. And end of 2022, which is only a couple months ago, or a handful of months ago, he finished 17th. So he's running from 17 to 6.
I will say my sleeper last year, Sam Homa.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Did pretty well. Yeah.
Sam Burns.
Sorry, not Sam Homa.
Sam Homa, cousin of Max Homa. Not joking. So yeah, I think that was that option. Yeah. So Rory McIlroy and Tiger is not playing.
I wonder if
not playing.
I wonder if that amateur that did really well in the Masters is playing.
Oh, Bennett.
Sam Bennett, right?
I don't see him in the odds.
Yeah, I don't need it. Well, I mean, he'd be very low probably.
Sam Burns at plus 4,000. Sam Ryder at plus.
Because I think the kid's still an amateur.
Yeah, I think he's still an amateur. I don't know if he's qualified for that. I don't know how. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, Tiger is not playing. I just went on Twitter and saw Tiger Woods is not playing. Yeah. So Jerry, anything else you got to add before we say adios to the listeners on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube?
Drop, comment who you think should. Oh
yeah. Like and comment. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look at the comments, and if you get it right, we'll acknowledge that in the comments. Yeah, we'll appreciate you guys for watching. Don't forget at Talking Sports PD on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, along with Underdog Fantasy code TSP. You can make parlays, like Pete said. You got NBA, you got baseball, you got hockey, Stanley Cup playoffs, now golf. So you can make parlays and like pick'ems. They'll match any deposit from 10 to 100 just by using the code TSP. And like always, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you can't sit here and watch the video, but yeah, we appreciate you guys for listening.
Yeah. And as always, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Road to 3K is in its work. So we appreciate everyone there. And yeah, Jared said everything's in the description. Social media. If you're on TikTok, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Twitter, do that. Talking Sports PD, follow us on all those platforms. If you listen on audio, Apple Podcasts and Spotify, make sure you subscribe on the audio. But if you prefer our YouTube, which most people do, subscribe, like, and comment on YouTube. And always sponsored by Underdog. So Talking Sports Podcast is always sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. Use code TSB. To wrap up, Jarrett, sleeper to win the PGA was Sung Jae Im, and his winner was Brooks Koepka. I had as my sleeper to win the PGA was Colin Morikawa, and my winner was Rory McIlroy. That is going to do it for this episode. Make sure you guys catch us back with another episode in a couple weeks. But as always, this was the Talking Sports Podcast hosted by Peter DiBiasi and John Rocco Trumpbour. Have a good rest of your day and enjoy the golf. Thank you.